Hi everybody, I wanted to run through a video I did the other day where I was doing some ecstatic dance and connecting to a very primordial feminine dimension of reality, where I was really able to access that very deep, sacred, primal feminine energy. And it's a topic that I'm fascinated by. So what I want to do is I just want to talk through, because somebody suggested that this energy was pornographic. And what I really want to share with you is how that just is not true at any level. So I'm just going to play it and see what you think in relation to how it makes you feel and what it brings up for you. So I'm going to talk through it. I'll turn the sound down actually on it. So it was some homework I had, and it's a practice that is very, very close to my heart because I know how healing it is. I just watched it through a minute ago for the second time. I'd watched it after I made it, and I hadn't really given it a lot of thought other than it felt amazing to do. So I haven't really watched it with a commentary, but I thought it would be a rather interesting practice, because what this may bring up for you is where the healing is. And I just began by accessing a sound which sounds to me like the call of the mother, a very primal sound. And I'm just holding around my womb space and just opening my mouth and allowing the sound to come through. So this is very this is channeling energy that's coming in and that's moving through me. And then the extension of my heart is my arms. They start to move. And some light language also comes through, which again is none of this is planned. It's not choreographed. And the palm, of course, I didn't work this out while I was doing it, but it's the feminine, it's the receiving. And I'm just sitting on the earth there, the land, you know, Mother Earth, and I collapse back into what looks to me and feels to me like a sort of a giving birth energy. And the discomfort that starts to move in my body, not quite knowing how to put my body. And then this beautiful flow of the spine, the incredible power of the spine. I'm coming to just open my heart and just look up to the heavens in prayer pose. The blessing of this energy and the sacredness of it. And then as the music goes with me, it's almost like a contraction, the rhythmic contraction that becomes more, that includes the arms and this movement, which is quite strong and powerful. And then just the holding of the heart and bowing down to Mother, to the Mother, to Gaia. And again, the light language, the sound is not rehearsed, it's not sexual, it's sacred energy. And again, just holding into the womb space as the energy is with me, and then just surrendering, Bowing, surrendering. So just notice what it brings up in you as you watch this. This, to me, is appearing a state of surrendering, being supported by Mother Earth, and then coming back into the chaos of the movement in my body and my spine. And then here come the energy of the contraction, the energy moving through is expressed, the rhythmic movement of the spine, which is a passion of mine in my work. So many are blocked energetically in the spine. And then, as the music suggests, there's just this liberation of ecstasy, which is not sexual, but as I'm always saying, Kundalini energy is just so freaking powerful. It's just this whole movement. It's joyful, it's ecstatic, it's blissful state energy just moving through me as the birth is taking place. Of course, this can be the birth of anything, the birth of an idea, a creation manifesting, a new earth emerging out of the ashes of the old earth, you know. It's incredibly powerful energy. The power of the feminine. It's not all submissive. So it wasn't so easy to do that practice having Ziggy with me. First time I've done this practice, well, second time with having Ziggy with me. And then, as with Ziggy always, you know, he just reflected back at me the stillness, the music reflected back the stillness, the completion, the creation, the masculine and the feminine. The joy, the ecstasy, and again, the real primordial sound of the mother, such a primal sound. Just when you can touch that energy, it's incredibly healing. And that was where I was just called to get the gong and just seal the experience. So here was the real juice for me now, the real power of this whole practice now. If you see the water, the tears, this was the release. This was the medicine. The laughter and the tears all at once, which I've done many a time after having an amazing orgasm. But the reason I'm making this video is to really share with anyone who's new to this work that this is non-sexual. This is really sacred energy. This is my passion, the work of the divine goddess. I'm just going to close it there. The goddess energy, I'm just going to stop sharing now. But what I want to share with you is the incredible power of the divine feminine and what's going on in the world at the moment. Ultimately, for me in my world, the whole thing is about the masculine and the feminine. I've got a few interviews coming up this week with various men and women who are also passionate about this work. And I really feel like it's time to put it out there without the shame, without the guilt. You know, the book I wrote about 4 years ago, was published 3 years ago. It took me about 4 years to write it. You know, the rising of the feminine, the acknowledgement not only that women are strong and powerful and gentle and emotional and surrendering and able to access all these different frequencies, all these different archetypes. We are so many things, and sadly patriarchy has really done damage, and the energies that I connect with are pre-patriarchy. They are our inherent primal energies, and they've been demonized, they've been bastardized, they've been turned into pornography and everything that they're not, everything that we are not at every level. We have been programmed and manipulated, and I think the deepest wounding is the masculine and the feminine at every level, and that's my passion. So the practice of embodied movement, you've got to start somewhere. I didn't really start doing this work until I went to Bali in my 50s, and always saw it prior to that as hippie dancing. Didn't really get it, looked weird. But once you start the journey of embodied movement, of authentic relating, speaking from the heart, you can't leave out this aspect of the work. It has to be all inclusive. So, you know, when people are ready, I normally in the practice just get people to start just breathing, really, just to start connecting to the breath, and then just be maybe noticing, you know, the fingers move and maybe the arm and the elbow, and moving forwards from there. So it's not something you dive into, although you might want to in the privacy of your own space. You know, I did some amazing healing while my father was dying, and playing my favorite music that really brought up the emotion and then moving to it. You've probably done something similar, but the problem, or the thing about we're so programmed, is that even when we do it on our own, in the privacy of your own space, that most people, 99.5% of people are going into a program with the movement of the body. So learning how to fully surrender, whether you're a man or a woman, it's not gender related, but learning how to be moved by the music, by the emotion, so you fully get out of your head, because you are out of your head, you're in your heart, you're connecting to something much bigger than you, and you just allow yourself to be moved. And again, another big healing for me was sound healing and my own voice, because when I went to workshops or tantra workshops or anything that was around the healing modalities, every time the voice and sound was included, I was massively triggered to a very, very dark time in my life when I was left widowed at a very young age with 2 babies. And so it took quite a few years to work through that. And so now for me to be able to use the voice and to connect to light language and to use the sound, the vibration, the frequency of sound, now I know how powerful it is. And even as I say that, you know, from speaking from my womb and connecting to that deeper energy, I can feel the healing power of it just as I speak it. So it's a huge subject, and it's not for now. But thank you. I'd love to get any feedback from you, and if you were triggered by it, what it brought up for you. You know, if it brought up any of your own repressed feelings, whether it be about standing in your light, being told that you're too much, too big, too out there. If you've always hid behind people your whole life, if you've never been able to express yourself sexually, that's a whole nother topic that I could talk about so much. I was never, ever, like I would never have done this video or made this video 3 or 4 years ago, not in a zillion years. And yet, you know, I feel it's not to be kept hidden. from people. I feel we need to put it out there and show that actually this is natural, this is nature, this is Mother Earth, this is us accessing our authentic self, our energetic bodies, and see how that feels in your own system when if you can start to access that and the power of that. Big love, and see you soon. I'd love to hear some comments. Thank you.